listen to music.
Yeah, because a lot of people that I talk to is like, oh, I have a sad playlist, I have a happy playlist, I have a bad day playlist, I have a mad day playlist, I don't know. And then so I'm here like, well, I got songs I know the words to, songs that I know. Then let's say a concert I went to that had Victoria Justice. But there was something about that Alice Cooper concert that was like, I know these songs, I know their meanings, I know his history of the lead singer. I know what he's been through, and I can feel that connection. Then on the other hand, I did get to see Victoria Justice backstage. I got to go on her tour bus, and the only thing I really remember of that is I stole some Hershey Kisses from her.
Wow.
So I love that game. And then Doom Eternal came out. You can like customize stuff. You do all this, like it's a longer story.
Yeah, I watched somebody play it. I watched Markiplier play through it. It was pretty cool. But I have a funny story. I don't know how it started, but when the Doom 2016 game was coming out and they were putting up posters around it, for some reason my dad got obsessed with it. Not like the game itself, just Doom. He just got obsessed with the fact that it was Doom. So anytime, to this day, out of just nowhere, he'll just go, Doom! Wait, can you actually hear him doing it right now?
No.
That's because I added it in post.
Hello, sir. She's like graduating soon, so she has her thesis that she's been working on. Yeah, and I guess for those of you who are listening who don't know, an art thesis is no small task. She's been working on it for months now, and she's still working on it. She was working on it like last night. We're recording this the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
she was literally recording it or working on it like Thanksgiving night at like midnight or 1 a.m. After like taking a break for the day. Yeah, it's crazy.
Quick Google search, how to change majors.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so art theses are like projects that take months to do. Yeah. I cannot imagine what she's like dealing with. I haven't even asked the question like, hey, Dana, how are your finals going? Because I feel like it's just going to be like, she's just going to respond by screaming into the universe.
From what I understand,
like,
yeah. Now onto more chaos.
Not like bashing parents. It's just like school's hard, you know.
It's hard to teach. Some parents might not have the time.
Yeah, exactly. Too. You know, if you're like a mom and you're working, you know, from 9 to 6, and then you get out at like 6 o'clock, make dinner for your kids, and then you got to ask them, like, you know, hey, what homework do you have? Let me help you with it. And it's kind of like that meme in from what is it, The Incredibles, where Mr. Incredible's looking at the math and he's like, when did they change math? Like, that's the as much of a joke as that is, that's like, I had a moment like that with my dad in high school.
Yeah.
Like, he was looking at the homework I had to do and he's like, what is this? I'm like, I don't know, I'm asking you, you know.
I think my parents got off lucky with that because my sister, she's still in high school, but she's doing everything on her own. She can work on her own. And meanwhile, I'm here in college and my homework is coloring. So not much help there.
Fair enough. The life of an art major.
Wow. Because the English dub finally released, and I watched the 4 other parts in English by accident. So,
what do you mean by accident?
I watched it in the dub, and then my friends told me, "No, the beauty is in the sub." I'm like, "Okay, guess I'm doing it again."
It's true. You got to rewatch it in Japanese.
Stay alive. Hello, all, and welcome to another episode of King's Chaos. I'm your host, Kyle Pepitone, aka the Kyng-Pin parentheses of Spades, and today I'm joined with 1, 2, 3. 3 guests. I'm joined with my family, and it's composed of a dad, a mom, and a sister. Do you guys want to give names, or should we keep it at that?
I'm Dad. That's Mom. That's Sister.
All right.
Yep. That's what I go by.
All right. Well, as a family, we there are some things we don't agree on.
Some things?
Pretty much everything.
Because like you even told me that you don't understand the words until you look them up.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but I think sometimes.
But that can
like,
apply.
You don't even understand them.
No, I can make out most. There, I will admit it's hard to make out some sections.
It's kind of like listening to BTS.
BTS.
Your music is like your music is like if somebody went to the front door and just kept opening, slamming it shut for like
with a
20 minutes
with
straight.
a lot of cursing.
This album sounds like a door slamming.
That's
a
what
cat
that's.
in it.
It's not upbeat. It's somebody slamming a door 1,000 times.
Wow.
That's some pretty fast door slamming.
It's a term. It's a music term. Full sale. Okay. And then, but your thing just sounds like someone just generally screaming. It sounds like mom when dad's drinking.
I'm not drinking.
Drinking water, like too loud.
Yes, but you.
This was your idea.
I know, but a lot of people
Going well.
a lot of people don't realize how you have to have a lot of training in order to scream like them, so you don't tear up your vocal cords.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. And you also have to have a lot of training to reach certain high pitched notes.
Yes,
I didn't get any training, and I do just fine.
That's just a high note.
Yeah.
That is true, but. How much longer before your vocal cords do tear?
Oh, thanks.
I hope soon.
Sister thinking Alvin and the Chipmunks were a good movie, so we might just exclude her from this next portion of the show.
Well, if you exclude her and you have to exclude me, you're only talking to Dad.
And we like the same movies. Good point. All right, you get back in here. So we're going to be talking about movies now because.
Grease.
Okay, she's made her point. She's done talking. She's got nothing else to say.
I think we just don't brush over Grease.
Okay, fine. We'll go back to Grease because this is a wreck over here.
Let her get it together. What do you like about Grease? What is like the thing?
Because it's fun.
Yes.
It's not reality.
Wrong.
Whoa. There you go.
All right, I guess I'm done.
No. The one movie she likes.
I didn't have a problem with the movie except for the parts where it was depressing. I don't like things that are
What was depressing? What happened? He lost
his
his
wife
circus?
left him for like 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Did she go to the bathroom?
No, she was mad at him, so she moved back in with her parents. That was it.
Did she come back?
Yeah.
Oh, happy ending.
They sing a song.
But there was parts in the beginning that were depressing before he starts the
What else
circus.
is
He was
depressing?
poor.
And he lost his elephant?
And he got slapped or something.
He
He was like 10.
You don't slap Hugh Jackman.
It wasn't Hugh Jackman.
And his business went on fire.
Oh my god, this guy was awful. This is the
That's
most
because
depressing
people
movie
lit
ever.
it on fire.
Oh, okay. It's okay.
But it still went on fire.
Yeah, but whatever.
No.
Okay.
The Hunger Games. There's a comedy.
No, see, that's depressing.
Why is
No,
that
it's
depressing?
not. It's fake.
You've never watched it.
I know, but whatever.
I couldn't get through 5 minutes of Hunger Games.
Well,
The first 5 minutes of a movie is usually pretty boring.
No.
Hunger Games is very slow to start. It took me
is.
forever to get through the books.
Yes.
Yeah, but I
A lot of
can't.
pages.
The whole concept of like
No, it's not.
surviving and
And killing children, you're against that?
what do you
'Cause that's
call
what-
it? Like survival of the fittest kind of
Yes.
thing. Like to me, that's not
So
enjoyable.
you're not a fan of Darwin, I see.
No.
You have no idea what that
Was
means.
he in Hunger Games?
No, his whole thing was survival of the fittest
Oh,
and
okay.
evolution.
Oh, Charles?
He's the guy whose apple fell on his head? The apple.
I'm right.
Yeah, Charles Darwin and the apple.
Yes,
fell on his head.
not you, sister. Right, you wrong.
Could've sworn an apple.
No,
No, they shot the apple off his head.
That was.
I don't even know who that
I think
is.
you're talking about Johnny Appleseed.
No,
They didn't
Johnny
shoot an
Appleseed.
apple off of
Not
Johnny
him,
Appleseed's head.
Whatever.
Are you possibly mistaking Johnny Appleseed for Sir Isaac Newton?
No. Maybe. No, not me.
I think
You almost definitely are.
you're thinking of Sir Paul McCartney. You got your stars messed.
No.
Yes, the
Back to the Beatles.
the physicist, Sir Paul McCartney. Yep, that's right.
Hello, sir.
And I recommended a guy who I actually played with in the music school at Montclair.
Oh,
Yeah,
which would have been Kyle, right?
exactly. Yeah. Kyle played guitar in a jazz combo that I was in with him.
Different
And-
Kyle, not me.
Different Kyle, not you, right? Just to clarify, right? when we were writing a lot, it would be like, we called it like a sneeze, where like somebody would play something and then everybody else would be like, oh my God, like I'm going to sneeze. Like, that's it. Like, that's it. Oh my God. I just gotta like do something and I'll get it. And then like he would just play and it would be like, no, like do it again. And then you do it again and everybody would play stuff at the same time.
Right.
And then it would be like, oh, that was it. Like we just sneezed. Like that was it, guys. Like that's the song.
Oh, I like hearing that. That's very interesting. Store anymore. Like most of it is gone, which is crazy. But now a lot of what I'm seeing now, and it's mostly from ads, and we'll get into this a little bit later, but the ads are insane. We've just taken a major dive in these ads. It's all the same thing now. Oh, I can't reach pink color. And if you can reach orange, you are legally the Pope.
900,000 IQ.
You know? Exactly. And for the longest time, I have no idea what any of that means. I get it's just a marketing thing, but the things where it's like my mom versus my dad, I'm like, what am I supposed to take from this?
Yeah, is your mom an epic gamer or something? Like what's going? I don't know.
Not that I know of.
I mean, she could be, if compared to your dad, apparently, according to these ads.
Maybe.
You know,
stay alive for that thing, and I can speak from experience because I used to have a game on my phone called Homescapes, which was just like a little matching tile game. And then I've gone through, like, time has passed and I've seen ads for it. And there's this guy about to be roasted over lava. I'm like, that was never in the game.
Where's
it has
the lava?
nothing to do with the game.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to roast this guy in some lava and they don't want to give it to me. What are they doing? I don't know.
Like, it's not even thematically correct. The game is about renovating a house through puzzles. I don't know where the lava comes in.
I don't know. Maybe they just fall into a lava pit at some point. It's just like, you never know as a homeowner, right? You gotta. I don't know, man. That's
who knows what the previous owners built in their basement?
Exactly. They were just like master forgers, and they just had lava, just cause.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
You never know if you're gonna, like, let's say the power goes out. You still need a place to heat water.
Exactly.
There you go.
You never know. You never know what can happen. These are crazy times we're living in.
Wow. I'm recording this. The article that we're reading came out 4 days ago, so still pretty recent news.
Yeah, it's pretty fresh right now in current times.
I did something very similar to this when I was younger. Granted, it wasn't $16,000. It was like $48.
48,000? Oh,
no,
okay.
48.00 cents.
There you go.
But it was exactly this. It was a ludicrous amount of money spent from in-app purchases. And I remember the app it was Kick the Buddy. I kept buying in-game currency so I can buy more like the toys to kick the buddy with. And I remember this story from like 5 or 6 years ago because Minecraft has just come out on the Xbox 360 and I was not able to play it because I did this. So I got in trouble and then I couldn't play Minecraft.
Did you buy the game?
I was very sad.
Like, did you have the game like to buy it? They just didn't allow you to play it?
I think I had pre-ordered it and it had come out like that day.
Man.
So it kind of hurt.
Yeah, like parents are like, "Oh, this is a new game. I don't understand it, but you just got it." But psych, you're not playing it.
Yeah. Exactly. Now onto more chaos. Pure bliss.
There is no feeling in the world like when you cross off something off a list that you don't want to do.
Yes, I know. It's like I've done that a lot this past week with all the intro to philosophy stuff. I'm like, finally, I read that one off the list.
Yup. No, lists. I could talk about lists all day.
Now, for a quick segment, can you make a list of the top 10 lists you have made?
No.
Story. I was in the hospital that morning just because I was getting sick, and I just happened to go there. And the lady told me I had like some hardcore coughing going on. It was nothing serious. It was just a really bad cough that wouldn't stop. And the lady told me, she goes, she goes, "Oh, you should be home resting." And I was like, "Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but I have an Ozzy concert to go to tonight, and I'm not missing it." I went to the Ozzy concert. I sang my lungs out to Crazy Train. Let me tell you. So
that's dedication.
To be 70 years old and still rocking out.
Yeah,
that's dedication.
Yeah, that is true. King's Chaos, episode 10, take 1. Action.
Cut, let's run it again.
King's Chaos, episode 10, take 112. Action. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to King's Chaos.
Hello. Amazon Prime Video is basically the wild, wild west of streaming services. Anybody can put anything on Amazon Prime Video. That's it, plain simple.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Like, I don't like that, but that's just me. Like, I literally saw a Prime Video movie for Santa Jaws.
I'm sorry, for what?
Santa Jaws. Like, like a movie about a Santa wearing hat, a shark wearing a Santa hat.
What?
Yeah.
Somebody made that?
Yeah, somebody actually made that.
Interesting.
Theaters that are really big problems.
So the first one I thought of, me being me, was you don't have to sneak snacks into the theaters. That was my big pro for streaming services.
Like, I worked at a movie theater. They don't care if you sneak snacks in, just as long as they don't see it.
Yeah.
They don't care. Like, they don't.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Like, it's more like, if we see, like, you carrying a whole pizza into the movie theater, yes, we're going to stop you.
But if you don't see it, then it's okay.
But if we don't see it, we don't care. We don't. Like, we don't care if you sneak in a whole, like, barbecue snack or just a whole barbecue dinner. I don't care. As long as I don't see it, I don't care. But just clean up after yourselves.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think that's fair.
Stay alive!
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of King's Chaos, the show recommended by 9 out of 10 doctors. It really has nothing to do with health, but we just thought adding in a doctor referral made us sound more professional. And I know your thing about, like, making sure, like, the band name doesn't exist, because when I got to college last year, before, like, I was kicked out,
Wait, what?
I wasn't actually kicked out, but that's the term I used when they sent us all home for the lockdown.
I was gonna say, were you kicked out at some point too?
No, I just like to say I was evicted from the dorm just because it sounds fun.
They ripped you out, like you were like, no, I need my computer here.
Exactly. Yeah, I figured without since most of this is audio, nobody was able to see the air quotes, so I probably should have clarified that regardless.
Wow.
Knowing that, like, great artist of today, like Bruce Springsteen once played there and all that, how did that feel, being on that stage?
So I'm not gonna lie, this might sound like not the answer you want, but it's not as fun as you would think, actually, because it actually takes a lot more, like, I'm sorry, I just, like, ruined your mood.
Hello, sir. Again, thank you for joining me for this
Pinterview,
as we called it. I forgot to say that at the start. But it's been a lot of fun. I've gained a lot of new insight that I haven't gotten from the other two. So I'm with each Pinterview I do, I'm getting more and more knowledge, and soon I will amass the whole knowledge of the world and become unstoppable.
That's the goal. That's the goal of the show. You're gonna just become unstoppable.
Exactly. That's why there's a new topic every week. Now onto more chaos. Yeah, they had actual people sitting behind the camera reacting to that. So from what I gather from that, the laughs you hear are actual genuine laughs from people, not the pre-recorded tracks that we're so used to hearing.
Oh, wow. That's kind of, I actually appreciate that more.
That is commitment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually surprised. I don't know, I feel like Marvel tries to, like, be very, like, secretive of their projects, so I'm surprised they, like, showed it to people before that they aired it.
Very true. I mean, okay, I'm saying that this is a joke, and for legal reasons, this is all purely a joke. But they probably, like, kept them in like a secretive building until the episode's released so they don't say anything.
Yes, imagine. It could have also been like people that worked on the show. DC movies that I am really looking forward to see.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that they have to pull this off because they've had so many Batman movies, so many Batmans, that they need to like get one down and keep it with that one.
Now, here's the one thing I'm asking that this movie avoids at all cost. We do not need to see Bruce Wayne's parents get killed again. We've seen it in Keaton's version, in Bale's version, in Affleck's version. We've seen it in the Joker movie that came out. We do not need to see it again.
I think they should like have like a comedic reference to that in the Batman movie. Like like I feel like somebody should ask Bruce Wayne, "How did your parents die?" And he should be like, "Oh, everybody knows that," or something like that. I
feel like for this particular movie that would be out of character, but that is something like definitely one of these should say. Like, come on, we've all seen it before. Legion of Superheroes, because that one too was like a very introductory phase for me of like superheroes and all that stuff. But seeing like characters like Saturn Girl, Lightning Lad, Superman, the Furious Five. What was that supervillain name called? The Fatal Five.
The Furious Five. Isn't that Fast and Furious or something?
Wrong series. My bad. You can look at the DCEU. I mean, the Martha scene kind of disqualifies them right there. That was less than great.
That's actually, I want to talk about that. What do you, like, why do you think people hated that scene so much? Like, what was the primary reason why, do you think?
Well, I don't know the main reason why. I just felt so absolutely ridiculous. First of all, Superman could fly. So Batman's down here on the building. Superman's up here. Hey, you can't see on my camera. Hey, Lex Luthor's got my mom. Please save her. No, he comes down here. Is like, hey, I got to talk to you. And then it gets punched. So right there, they could have avoided that entire interaction. Here's the final score.
Yeah, I think you destroyed me in that game. I think you have.
Well, we weren't counting us. We were counting which company had more original characters.
Okay.
So
that I haven't kept count of either.
Yeah. Here's the final score. This is the brand that won. Yay, congratulations. Hello, sir. Lego Batman, which was what I was playing, and I stick by one of the best video games ever, only second to Lego Star Wars, which is did you know there's a new Lego Star Wars coming out very soon?
I did.
I'm so excited for that. But
that'd be awesome.
It is, but we're getting a little ahead of ourselves because that's something new, and we're trying to feel old here. You know what I'm saying?
We don't want to feel young.
No, because that we are not.
No. Hello. So what's the first, home console plugged into a TV you think you had? Let's stick with the console theme.
Plugged into a TV, I'm 100%. I'm 100% certain that I'm like 98% certain that it was the Wii.
The Wii, okay. Well, we're not talking about the Wii, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
So what year do you think the Xbox 360 came out?
I mean, I could pretend to guess, but I also wrote this one down. So
Did you
I'm
really?
going to say, let me just think about this for a moment. Where is it? November 5th, 2005, I want to say.
I can't believe you got that so exactly. Oh my God.
And I think it was around what was it? Like midnight maybe?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Wow, I mean, that was pretty good. I can't believe you got that. But yeah, I remember.
I just know important dates in my life. Staying alive.
Fair enough. No, I remember though when we got the Xbox 360, we had the dead original because my brothers are much older than me.
Yes, I remember seeing that.
The silver disc tray and everything, and then we got the red ring of death. And I'm sure you remember, and obviously this won't make sense to anyone watching, but basically we got the red ring of death, which was due to overheating, and it works out with red. So what happened was my brothers actually brought the Xbox. Do you remember Brian from Eagle River?
Yes.
Yeah, they brought it to his house, and he took it apart and tried to fix it, and then it broke even more, and we had to get the 360 arcade.
Oh, no, that's not.
Yep.
He just opened it up, tried pouring water on it. That didn't work.
Well, not quite, but it definitely worked for a couple of days, but it broke like right after.
Yeah.
Wall.
All right.
Okay. Twitter.
I've barely touched Twitter, so I wouldn't even know.
2006.
6?
Uh-huh.
Why did everything technologically important come out in 2006?
I don't know.
That was like a year of just innovation.
Yeah,
oh my
apparently.
gosh.
I know.
Because we're talking, well, you didn't say iPhone yet, so I don't know if it's exactly iPhone. But the Wii and their motion controls, Twitter, High School Musical, all the big technological things came out in 2006.
High School Musical.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
So I am actually out of stuff, and I need a bit more time to process all of this, but please tell me when the first iPhone came out so we can move on.
2007.
Ah, really? I thought it was 2006. Interesting.
Nope, 2007.
So probably not something that was a major innovation then.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah, iPhone. They're not,
Yeah,
they're okay.
iPhone.
It's
Yeah.
not like they did anything spectacular.
No. I mean, remember though, those were only on AT&T.
Really? The first ones?
Yep.
Hello, sir.
Reason why it was a bumpy road for a little bit. It wasn't the sense that like my parents are pretty logical people for the most part. They were able to look at the esports business and say, this is a pretty booming business. Take, for example, the League of Legends tournament a few years ago had more views than the Super Bowl and the Olympics. Like, live viewers, I should say.
I'm sorry, what?
Viewers. Yeah.
Like in-person viewers.
And like on TV as well. Like, the people watching the Super Bowl on TV and the people at the Super Bowl didn't amass to more. They were less than the people watching a live stream of League of Legends and were there in person. I believe it was an LCS, which is League Championship Series. I believe it had somewhere in the millions of live viewers on Twitch.
Oh, wow.
And which it did amass more than the Olympics and the Super Bowl. I don't know if it was more combined, but
Right.
it was more individually, which you would say that to someone and they would say, no way.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
the business is huge.
Apparently.
Yeah, it is.
But the question is, did it amass more viewers than the Puppy Bowl?
Nothing actually amasses more viewers than the Puppy Bowl.
All right, I just had to check.
Yeah, no, that's the best, and that's the best form of live entertainment that anybody could ever ask for. So I don't think that could ever be compared to in any sort. I think the time that we land on Mars won't even be viewed nearly as much as the Puppy Bowl.
The point of the segment is to take a bottle cap, read the fact off it, and discuss if it might be true. So, I am going to read a fact from this bottle cap that claims that slugs have 4 noses. And neither of us being any sort of biology majors, this should be interesting. What do you think?
It's definitely not true. My sister is a slug, and she only has 6. So, there.
Was not expecting that, but okay.
Okay, well, I mean, don't discriminate. Slugs are people too.
Honestly, like I said, I don't have any biological backing, so I don't know if I have no clue. Like, clearly there are a lot of animals that don't have noses as we know them. Like, a slug, as far to my knowledge, has nothing protruding out of its face to smell things. I forget the scientific term for smell, but that's what I'm saying. Like a dog knows. What?
Sniff.
Not exactly, but yeah, sure, that's the scientific term.
Whiff.
But like a dog's nose looks nothing like ours, but it is still technically something that protrudes from the face. As far as I know, to my knowledge, Slugs don't have that.
I actually don't know a lot about slugs other than when you pour salt on them, they die, and they're slimy. The fact that they have 4 noses, I don't know where those would be located. As you've said, I've never seen a slug. If I were to see a slug just, slithering, sliming, whatever, around, and it just had a big beak sticking out of its face, you know what?
Yeah, exactly.
Props to that slug, man. I didn't know. I was supposed to know. But they had 4? I don't know.
Well, that's my thing. I just looked it up, like a little bit of research, because I want to try and prove or disprove these facts between each one. Mm-hmm. And I found 2 kind of different answers. One saying slugs don't have a traditional nose, but rather, this is from reference.com, and they say, quote, "A slug does not have a traditional nose, but rather a pair of tentacles that it uses to smell." So, and then continuing that, a slug also has 2 other tentacles that contain eyeballs on the tips. The tentacles used for smelling are smaller than the pair used for sight. End quote. And then there's another one that says, "Do slugs have 4 noses?" And from mentalfloss.com, they have, quote, "Slugs have 4 and they are retractable. 2 are for seeing and 2 are for smelling. And they can be operated independently." End quote. So
the 2 for seeing are considered noses.
Apparently, but technically they're not considered traditional noses, they're considered tentacles.
Well, I have 1 traditional nose and 2 non-traditional noses then, apparently.
Yes, everybody knows we have noses for seeing. As
well, according to slug dogma.
I don't.
I don't know.
I'm actually very interested, but
I mean, that makes sense to me because I've seen slugs.
Yeah.
They have the eyes things, and then they have the little things. I've seen little ones.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
That's the noses. But
Yeah.
I only see 2. I don't know how the eyes could be.
Yeah,
also
I didn't.
Noses.
I guess they're counting the eyes as
A nose
noses.
used to see. Like I don't see how that adds up.
I'm very confused, and I need to take time to process this. But I guess slugs have 2 noses to smell and 2 eyes to smell.
No.
So technically making this
2 noses to smell and 2 noses to see.
Right. I'm sorry. How could I forget? This is just speculation. But I think even though you heard it a couple times from the song, your brain is still conditioned to think this sound means text message. And
exactly.
Obviously not just you, but like all of us.
Yeah, it's like how how like the bell, if you were to hear a bell at any point in time, you're just like conditioned for that to be like you're supposed to leave class because that's in high school. You always heard the bell, and that was what made you leave class. So that's another just example of something that is conditioned in your brain to kind of trigger something, and that's just immediately what you think when you hear it.
I mean, yes, but in my case, it's not the bell that dismisses me. It's the teacher saying we could leave class that dismisses me.
Well, then you're a very good student. I'm sure your teachers all loved you.
Maybe. Stay alive. Finally, the image bears no relation to reality. So this would be something completely obscure that bears the slightest resemblance to the Among Us characters. And the example I saw while reading this was a thumb. Like how it's kind of shaped like that. I don't see it, but I guess that's the point.
That it wants you to relate it to an Among Us character. I didn't understand what you meant at first, and now I looked at my thumb, I kind of see it. It kind of does have a little bit of a resemblance to it.
And that's the problem. It's so ingrained that even the slightest thing, we're like, wait a minute.
I never once thought of it like that. That is really weird. And immediately when I looked at my thumb, because at first when you were saying that you were bringing up the thumb, I didn't know if you meant it looked like an Among Us character. So I looked at my thumb and I was like, he definitely means that because my thumb looks like one.
I can't. And Sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia is the technical name for brain freeze. I'm just going to spell that out real quick, just so we all know what kind of word this is. SphenopalatinE space GANGLIONEURALGIA.
Definitely
Having
never
fun
heard
yet?
that before. Definitely never heard that before in my life, and just did a quick Google search on it when you were spelling it out. Does say it's brain freeze.
Yep.
So that's a
That-
really really long way to just say brain freeze.
I wonder why people call it brain freeze.
Yeah, it's a good point. I'm sure that nobody wants to say that super long word that I'm not going to try to pronounce.
No.
When you can just say brain freeze.
Yeah, I when I first looked at this cap, I'm like, oh boy, that's a long word. And then during the break, I'm like, I don't want to make a total fool of myself, so let me just hear how it's said a couple of times. And I am going to put the Google Translate saying the word in the audio, just so you know exactly what the word is without me stuttering.
Sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia.
One more time. Sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia. Hey, I'm getting the hang of it.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was no stuttering. No, that was like you knew what you were talking about.
Hello all, and welcome to another episode of King's Chaos, the only podcast that is actively giving eye tests. Now, tell me, which one looks better? 1 or 2? 1 or 2?
Is there a third option?
Today, I am joined with another special guest.
Really? Am I special, Kyle?
I mean, I call all of my guests special because they.
So I guess we're not all that special, huh?
Each one holds a special place in my heart because they didn't have to agree to be on this show, and the fact that they did means a lot to me.
That's fair. I'll give you
but
that.
But you haven't said your name yet. How is anybody going to know who this second disembodied voice is if you're not watching on YouTube?
It's a mystery. The folks like to call me Jared. I'm pretty cool with that, so that's what I stuck with for the last 19 years. I'm Jared Tauber. I am a fellow WMSCian. There's definitely a better name for that. I host my own show called Tauber Time. I'm not here to plug it. I'm just trying to give you context. We are both DJs, and now we're here to help each other out because it's about legends supporting legends.
That's right. Now onto more chaos.
But I love the Catherine Hahn, Agatha winking meme because it's one of those memes that are just so simple.
Yeah.
And can be applied to anything, but it's so funny when it is. Just like the most basic. Here, let me take one. It's like one I really loved was like me telling my computer I'll update everything tomorrow.
Wink.
I mean, like relatable, but also true. It's just. I also love Chekhov writing a gun into the first act of the play.
And that's what we go back to. Like it has this whole philosophical, historical thing, and with context and everything. Because if you don't know what Chekhov's gun is, you have no idea what that means.
I know. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's nice to get references.
Yeah. Exactly.
I guess that just comes with age and knowledge. But like whenever I get a niche reference, I'm always just like. Yes.
Exactly.
little internal fist pump, just like, ooh, I'm a special little snowflake because
I get this
other people don't understand this, but I do.
Yeah. Wink.
If you're a Fiona Apple fan, my heart goes out to you. Thankfully, I got into her more recently, and so I wasn't waiting as long for her new record, and even though some were waiting for like 12 years, some crazy stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. I mean,
yeah.
That's a long time.
Let me verify this. Okay, no, 8 years. 8 years. It was
still pretty long.
Yeah.
That was at least 7 years ago.
What? Yes. At least 7. But yeah. I mean, also, no, that's inaccurate.
What do you mean?
Well, because it's. I mean, wait, yes.
8 years ago.
My brain hurts. Yes, I get it. All right.
Math is confusing.
It's at least. It's been at least a day.
Hello, sir. But did you know Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, My Chemical Romance weren't the first bands to do this? Yes, it became a thing with emo music in the early 2000s, but actually the earliest dated one that I was able to find was Pink Floyd in 1969 with their song "Several species of small furry animals gathered together in a cave and grooving with a pict." That's a mouthful.
There you go. And, no, there is no such thing as originality.
Unfortunately, not. But
no, I mean, look at Fiona Apple's 1999 album "When the Pawn," and so on Spotify it'll read "When the Pawn ... but the actual title of the album, which is written over the album cover, is "When the pawn hits the conflicts, he thinks like a king. What he knows throws the blows when he goes to the fight, and he'll win the whole thing. For he enters the ring, there's nobody to batter when your mind is your might. So when you go solo, you hold your own hand and remember that death is the greatest of heights. And if you know where you stand, then you know where to land. And if you fall, it won't matter because you'll know that you're right." Of course, hilarious. But Turtleneck and Chain is an amazing album, and it was nominated for a Grammy for Best Comedy Album, and it lost to like a Jimmy Fallon record. And I've never listened to that one, but it's so hard to imagine that any comedy record beat out Turtleneck and Chain. It's such a classic.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember whatever that Jimmy Fallon album was? I don't know.
I'm looking to our
but
audience.
Everyone knows Turtleneck and Chain. Everyone knows.
I'm looking to our live audience, and there's nobody here to answer your question. I'm sorry.
Well, that kind of just proves my point.
King's Chaos is not filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Wow. I don't know
Not
if you know what like fantasy sports are. So that's like
very roughly. I've heard of them.
That's what like the fans can like have like a piece of the game almost, where they're rooting for certain players to do good so that they can like win like their matchup. And so I play fantasy like year round. So like I'm following baseball now, and I'm like I'm almost in fantasy basketball playoffs, and then football starts up. So it's like always keeping track and knowing like who's doing what.
Oh,
so
nice.
You got a lot of guys to keep track of.
Yeah, I've played some fantasy baseball before, as in I pretended to know what I was doing. It's very moderate.
Like 50s and 60s.
Exactly.
And, that's like perfect. Like when it's super hot out, I don't mind that at all, because you have like the pools, and like you sweat a lot more, which is healthy, and I enjoy that. But like winter, it's so cold, and like
well, depending on where you are. I mean, here it's frigid.
In Montclair,
where
it's on top of a mountain, and you're trying to go from one hall to the other to get food, and it's just windy on top of being below freezing.
Thank you. Finally, somebody else has said it. I say it to my parents all the time that Montclair's up in the mountains, so it's much windier. They're like, oh, you're just being dramatic.
No, the wind is awful. Like, there's not enough terrible adjectives to describe it. It's just
Yeah, it's
like
bad.
Either way you're facing, like you'll try and like walk backwards to like prevent it. It's still terrible, like no matter what.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, it's bad, and I don't own like gloves or anything. For some reason, I just have a thing against it. So when I came back from winter break last year, winter break of 2020, I came back a day early before my roommate, just because I like that alone time. But I went to get pizza at one of the places, and I didn't have gloves, so I was carrying a pizza box in one hand, an ice cold drink in the other, while both my hands were exposed to the cold. It was awful, but the pizza was good. Staying alive. Now we're talking like regular socks or like funky socks?
Like fancy funky socks.
Nice.
I can't show you right now because I am barefoot. Because,
like I get crazy design socks all year round. I'm wearing like Thanksgiving turkey socks right now.
Oh, nice.
It's not Thanksgiving. In fact, it's closer to Easter, but
definitely
article of clothing, because they're like the one other.
You wear them every single day.
Yeah, and they're like the one other article of clothing besides shirts that can be a little more creative in their designs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I think it just represents my personality. I'm very like out there and like
right, exactly.
It's just like it's perfect to just have the socks. 'Cause then like that's something that people will notice is like they'll look at your shoes, but then when they look at my shoes, they'll be like, oh wait, look at his socks.
Yeah. I've gotten a lot of looks in high school because like I like to sit with like I wear jeans or long pants all the time, but like I'll sit with my leg up, so like you'll see a little bit of it. And I've gotten looks in like school and stuff like, Kyle, are you wearing caution tape socks today? I'll be like, why, yes, I am. Thank you for noticing. Hello. At some point, well, the graph made sense up to a certain point, and then it kind of just dropped off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there was South Park sprinkled in there, too.
Yeah. But that's the point of the show. Getting as chaotic as possible. We went from spring to socks last episode. Don't ask me how that happened.
How did you get to socks? I mean, socks are cool.
I mean, well, not just plain socks. We're talking funky design socks.
I know exactly what you're talking. I got beer socks. I don't have them on right now, but I got beer socks.
I'm like 90% convinced I'm wearing the exact same socks right now that I wore recording last episode.
No.
Yeah, it might be. I'm pretty sure. Okay, note to future editing Kyle. Look back at last episode, see what I say. I'm currently wearing turkey socks. If they match up, get more socks. Never judge an album by its cover, which is exactly what we're going to be doing.
You're very judgy people.
Yeah, a little bit, but, you know, like, when you walk into a record store, that's the first thing you see is the album cover. You can't exactly take samples like an ice cream shop. Hey, could you play 30 seconds of track 3, please? Unfortunately, can't do that. I mean, with Spotify and stuff, now you kind of can, but that's not how it worked back then. Now, onto more chaos.
You probably just found out about him, Uwe Boll.
Yeah.
You just found out about him. I've known about him for years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's there are so many great things about Uwe Boll's movies that are just bad. They're just so bad that they make it look like The Room, but he's actually making a movie.
Oh, okay.
like you know how like The Room is just really bad?
Yeah.
Like
crossing into over so bad it's good territory, but yeah, I've seen it.
No, those movies are just really bad.
Boll's movies?
Oh yeah. And if there's like House of the Dead that he made. There's the movie House of the Dead that he made. There's the movie Alone in the Dark, which is also a video game movie. I believe he also did Blood Rain, I think.
I'm not familiar with that one. I haven't heard of that one.
But he did a few really bad video game movies.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to touch him in Hollywood because he's done all these really bad video game movies. Because he made House of the Dead into this cheesy, really bad like movie. I'm just like,
yeah.
Why you gotta do this?
Well, I can tell you exactly why he did it. Taxes.
Because tax. Go on and tell that.
So, between the 1970s and mid 2000s, German tax law said anything. Any contribution or investment made into the filmmaking industry was 100% tax deductible. And they did this, and Germany did this as incentive to make movies that were not made in big American Hollywood studios. But as you can tell, if you're offering no taxes, a lot more people are going to do it to not do the taxes rather than out of a passion. And then the law also stated that any returns made on the movie... the law stated that only taxes would be paid to returns on the movie. So in other words, the worse the movie did and the less it made, the less taxes the person had to pay.
It's basically the producers. Like, have you ever heard about the Mel Brooks movie, The Producers?
I've heard of it, but I have unfortunately not see it.
It's that idea of like, if we make a flop in Broadway, then we'll get more money back because it's a flop. Because it's fraudulent and stuff. It was a joke in Producers because nobody in their right mind would actually do that.
And here we are.
And here we are with Uwe Boll, which later on in life he would actually fight his critics.
I heard about that. Yeah, he in boxing, right?
if you criticize his movie publicly and actually said really good, really interesting things about the movie, he'd be like, okay, we're going to have a boxing match.
Oh my god, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You love to hear it.
I would love to see a version, like just not a version of that, but just a version of like a skater's just going nuts, like basically a really well written version of Tony Hawk's Underground 2 as a movie.
Right.
Would be awesome to see.
Oh yeah, totally.
So. Like just like the level of like stunts and stuff.
Oh yeah, totally.
So funny in its own right. Because if you're a fan of that game, you would just be like, this is really funny.
And what they should do is they should have Tony Hawk make a cameo in the movie, but just nobody knows who he is. Like Tony Hawk plays himself in the movie, but nobody recognizes him.
Hello, sir.
Jeff and more of these two, but also kind of me, specialize in music. Is that the right word to say? Because I know, Jack, you're an actual music major, but
I am.
Jeff, you and I are animation, so I don't know if saying specialized is the right word.
Are you saying I'm not that official? Are you saying that?
I didn't say that. I just said,
dude, shots have been fired.
Oh no. Almost like an Inception, but the problem is I have so much ambition to do things, and I've noticed I don't really, like, I let a lot of opportunities pass me by. Like, for once I did a stand-up comedy routine in high school, but it was only once, and I've never done anything like it again. And I've never really gone back to something like that. And me and Jeff were going to perform at one of them in high school. And through no fault of our own, that was canceled. But we still, at least I never made the initiative to, like, find another time to do it. Jeff, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah, we got shut down in every angle.
We got shut down bad. So for context, me, Jeff, and one of our other friends were going to perform Ice Ice Baby at not just a school talent show, but the school pep rally. So everybody in the school would have been there.
Was it a blessing in disguise that we didn't perform? I don't know.
I'm a bit regretful of it. It might have been a blessing, but I still would have loved to do it.
Been Jeff Nelson music, Kyng-Pin of Spades, and the other friend raps for the first time.
Jeff Nelson, Kyng-Pin of Spades, and the other guy.
And the other guy.
Wow. How did you go about writing this? Where did you first start when it came to this song in particular? First of all, did you go with beat or lyrics first?
So I wrote it with this one girl. She was a music industry senior at the time, so this was yesterday. Last year, that I wrote this yesterday. It's all done. Like
quick turnaround.
No, yeah, I wrote it last year. Oh yeah, oh my goodness, we were supposed to record the last part of this song, like everything was done except for the mix and master. But I had to record one last part of my vocals. At Drexel, we had to we had the studios there, so we were gonna record it the day there, the day that we were supposed to do it, right? She had something that came up that was important, so we had to reschedule, which is totally fine. But the next day, we all got sent home. so I was like, oh no. And then she was great about it though. But then what happened is I went to a local studio where I have gone before for my covers, and I just recorded the last part. And it's so sad because it was just one thing that I had to record. It was the belting thing I did toward the end of the bridge. That was the one thing that I had to re-record. But yeah, I mean, I can't really complain. At least we got 99% of the song done. But yeah.
But what we just heard is that's what's going to be released, right?
No, that's the first draft. No, I'm joking. Yeah.
Dude, you got me. I was
What are you talking about? That's not finished. There's still 9 more minutes of the song.
Oh yeah.
We're going for a Revolution 9 here.
No, yeah, no, yeah. That's the. It's just a demo. It's just a demo. You know, basic. No, yeah. That's the final thing that's gonna be released. I just need to get my album, not my album, my single, like cover art done, and then I release that. Yes, we got Kyle.
In the video component, I'm gonna put a bunch of special effect arrows pointing to me and flashing lights.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so once that's done, then I can just release it.
So I guess I kind of take from that, or I'm like, I want it to be like a vision that you can like look at and also auditory experience.
Right.
So yeah, so basically that.
Cool.
I have always wanted to do a music video for my music, but I just never been able to do it or get it done. I don't know where to start.
Jeff, we
It's-
shot one
it's tough.
together for one of your or two of your covers.
Did we?
What do you mean, did we?
We did. We did. How did I forget about this? This is oh my.
I don't remember being in my own music video.
Oh my goodness! How did I forget? That was
funny.
That is like, I honestly do not know how I just did not think about. Yes, we did. We did. Rewrite the Stars and Faithfully. We did those two.
Stay alive. Are interested in learning more about you or hearing more of your stuff? Where could they find you? This is when one of you speaks up.
All right. Well, I'm all right. You can find me on Instagram at Jeff Nelson Music. My Spotify and Apple Music is just Jeff Nelson. There's a couple other Jeff Nelsons, but it's the same profile pic as my Instagram one. I don't know if that matters, but yeah, it's just Jeff Nelson Music on social media, and TikTok as well, and then Jeff Nelson for like my official music releases on like Spotify, Apple Music, and all that jazz. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could find me on I don't know, look up I don't know, dude,
MySpace? No.
Yeah, dude who sings or whatever, and then it'll come up. No. Yeah, you could just like, if you go on Spotify, just type in Jack Powers. No, you'll find me, and then my Instagram is like linked in there. So if for whatever reason you want to like stalk me or whatever, you can do that too. That'd be cool.
All right. Well, if you're interested, feel free to check out either of the artists featured here.
Yeah, feel free to stalk us.
Yeah, if you were interested in stalking both Jack and I, and Kyle, and Kyle,
And
But
Kyle.
Let's not,
go take a look at
it's
our,
fine.
our
It's
social
fine.
media.
We don't have to do that. We don't have to include
But
me
you
in this.
could. We're just saying that you could. Like the resources are.
We're
out
not
there.
going to
That's
stop
fair.
you if you want to, but you know what I mean.
Jesus Christ.
Well, anyway, number one, the mentally taxing game shows, which would be, in my opinion, stuff like Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune.
The classics.
Yeah. You know, the
70-year-old favorites.
And mine too.
And yours.
Yeah, I remember like when I used to go over to my friend's house for dinner. They had a TV in their kitchen, a little small one, and their family would always have Jeopardy on while eating dinner. And, you know, every once in a while I might know a question, but most of the time I'm sitting there in silence while they're all yelling out the answers. I'm like, this pizza's good.
Pizza good. Just does not make you feel good.
Yeah. No, not really. I mean, it's good, but at a certain amount. Like 3 slices when it starts to hit you, I would say.
Oh, that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about it doesn't make you feel good if they're just blurring out answers and you're just like, okay, yeah, pizza good.
Oh, yeah, that too. That's not a...
Pizza. No, I can eat the whole pizza.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a confidence booster. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But when you just throw out an answer, just because why not? You might as well say something, and you actually get it right. That's pretty good.
You guys didn't get that.
Yeah.
You guys were too easy. You guys were too busy eating pizza while I was being smart.
Hard one. I can't imagine that's an easy one to do. I definitely wouldn't put it up there with American Ninja Warrior. I feel like that one's the top of the top for the physically challenging ones.
Yeah, I those shows I've always wanted to try out just because I'm like, what I would do?
Yeah,
as a regular guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in no physical shape.
I mean, I did I did carry the most chairs back in like second grade, so.
Oh, they might just give you the winnings right now.
Exactly. You gotta watch out for guys like me.
All right, I'm keeping my distance.
That's right. That's why we're doing this virtually.
Yeah. 50% of my family might take it a little more serious than the other 50%. Wait, is there like a set number of people?
5.
5? Oh.
You could aunts, uncles, that kind of stuff.
Family dog.
Yeah, I mean, if it speaks, why not?
Well, considering our family dog doesn't exist, I don't think he can speak. Yeah, we don't have any pets.
I have 5 cats, so yeah.
That's a team on its own.
That is true.
That would be a very interesting episode of Family Feud. Okay, now have you thought about shooting a mock video of that? Family Feud with your cats?
Never. Not once. Never thought about it. Well, we had 4 cats for the longest time, but we got the 5th one about a year ago, so I've only had space to think about it for like a year.
Oh, okay.
No. I mean, a year's a lot of time.
It's something to considering this last year, yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, a lot of time to think, but no, just never thought of that. But I think you may be onto something.
I'm just saying, it's definitely something to consider. The only thing is, you would need, another team of 5, maybe like a family with 5 dogs.
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah. So you would have to find the contestants, but I definitely think it's something that could be done.
It could be. Okay. Yeah, Steve Pavey.